Hello. Today's lesson we studied absolute value and magnitude. There are a couple of vocabulary words that we learned. So, absolute value, that is the distance from zero. And we have to remember that absolute value is always going to be positive because if you are traveling a certain distance, you're traveling a positive number. So, on a number line, even if a number is negative, it's a certain distance away from zero. And magnitude is just the size or the impact of a number. So some absolute value examples, and we notice that we have our two parallel lines. That's the symbol for absolute value. So the absolute value of positive 25 just means that we are 25 units away from zero. So the absolute value of 25 is a positive 25. And looking on to negative absolute value of negative 15, that is when our negative turns into a positive because negative 15 is 15 units away from zero. So even though the absolute value of 25 and the absolute value of negative 15 seem pretty different, they're both actually positive numbers. On our assignment, we have 3 steps. We're given 2 different quantities. So we need to find the absolute value of each one. Then step 2, figure out which one is bigger. And using that information, we can say which quantity has the greatest magnitude or the greatest impact on life, I guess. So, question 1, we are going to find the absolute value of each number. So we have the absolute value of 12 and the absolute value of negative 27. Well, we know that 12 is 12 units away from zero, and the absolute value of negative 27 is 27 units away from zero. So that is the absolute value. That's step 1. Step 2, determine the largest absolute value. Well, we know that 27 is bigger. So that means that the negative $27 has the greatest magnitude. And that's it. Pretty simple. That's just showing that losing $27 has a bigger impact than gaining $12. Okay, question 2. Well, we're going to write the absolute value of 25 and the absolute value of negative 6. We know the absolute value of 25 is positive 25, and the absolute value of negative 6 is 6, because both of them have positive values. We can see that 25 is greater than 6, so 25 feet, right, the one in our original equation, has the greatest magnitude. And one more example, because I think you'll probably have the hang of this. Absolute value of 8,000 and absolute value of negative 5,000. Absolute value of 8,000 is 8,000. Absolute value of negative 5,000 is 5,000. Because negative $5,000 means that, well, there's a $5,000 difference. So even though that is terrible, 8,000 is larger. So $8,000 has the greatest magnitude. Hope you find these are pretty simple. Just stay organized and follow all your steps.